In this video, I'm gonna go into my adventure in Antwerp. So I went straight from Paris to Antwerp. Why I chose Antwerp? I don't really know. There's not too much thought to it. Again, that's not one of Belgium's booming ones that most people go to when you think of tourism in Belgium. But I don't know much, and I know it's on the same train line as going into to Amsterdam. And because of that, because I didn't want to buy seat reservations, I was like, oh, half a day, get to Antwerp, another little easy the next, when I want to go, and because that was my next stop. And Antwerp was good. I didn't really have any expectations, kind of like any of my rest of the trip here. I didn't know anything. What I learned very well, and the first thing, and this is actually kind of the highlight of Antwerp, is the train station. Stunning. I think it's like the nicest one in Europe. It's stunning. I mean, it's comparable to some churches and stuff. I mean, it's really, really nice. I think I only got one picture. There it is. Like I said, I got there, and then it's like, oh, I got to book a hostel. So I got a hostel there. And the weird thing there is that day there was actually a holiday. So everything was closed. I couldn't find anything. I still don't know what holiday. I never figured it out. Some local holiday, I believe. But so I ended up like looking for places to eat. And I ended up, there was some sort of Asian food. I think it was Japanese food that I had. And it was good, but it was like I didn't come to Belgium to have Japanese food. And so, but just kind of funny. I was walking around, nothing open, like not even like grocery stores, nothing. Absolutely, like normally I try not to eat out because restaurants are expensive and stuff, and if I can help it, but nothing. So I got it there, and not a bad thing though. It was good. Didn't do much, but one thing, the big thing I did in Antwerp is I got the city pass. So I got the 2-day city pass. So the city pass included 15 activities, 4 churches, I think, and like 15 museums, 4 churches, 3 activities. That's what it is. And it was good. So I tried to figure out where I could get that. And you can get it at the Welcome Center, which is in a castle, or the train station. Never figured out how to get in the train station, so who knows? Not sure about that still. But that's what I did. So the next day, I slept there. It was pretty empty hostel and very bare bones, but it was like just an old mansion, pretty much, like a nice, it used to be someone's really nice, probably not mansion, but 2-3 story home that is now a hostel. Like I was in probably, I don't know, a ballroom or something, like a living, like it was very, you can just tell at one point it was very nice. Now it's nothing crazy, but anyways, so I did that. So the next morning I get it at the visitor center, and I go from the visitor center and I start the day. And in that first day, I went to I saw the old canals, so that's interesting. So Antwerp used to have canals, like a lot of the other, like Amsterdam, like Bruges, it did, but then they covered them up because they got really stinky. So they covered them up, and so you can still go down there into them. And so I did that. It was just dark, saw rats, kind of my first real rat experience. Like, ooh, don't really have big old rats where I'm from, but I guess they're everywhere there. In pretty much every city. And then I also explored around there, the main square, just kind of like Brussels, a very nice, beautiful main square. I tried to go to some other places that turned out to be closed. That was one drawback to the pass. Some things were closed, but also that day I went to an artist's house and then a brewery. And then the next day, because I got the 2-day, I started off early, planned it out a little bit better, figuring out, oh, these things are closed, these things are not. Because it was kind of my first experience of realizing, oh, some things aren't open every day. Some things are open 2 days, something like that. So I had it planned out. I went to the Chocolate Museum. I then went to the Maz, which is like it had just a regular kind of museum. It had, the exhibits that are always there, and it's had a beautiful view of the port and stuff, and then also just exhibits that change. Um, so one there it was about alternatives to like food for like climate change purposes. So it was pretty much like, well, it was like cannibalism, eating bugs, getting algae in your body that feeds itself pretty much. I think they were like hypothetical. Maybe, these are all the options. Maybe you should choose these options, I think was the thing, but it was pretty interesting. And then I went to the printing press, this is actually one of the iconic saved things there, and then the Diva Museum, which was like a gold and silver, because at one point it was a very big trading spot. So that's why I did that second day. It was really good. It was a bit pricey to do the city pass, 55 euros, I believe is what it was. But it ended up being pretty good, I thought. Like, I definitely got my money's worth doing all those activities. I mean, I believe doing just the brewery tour, the chocolate world, and like one of the other museums, it would have made it worth it. So it was one of those things of like, I can have 2 full days, or I can do one a day. I had done the chocolate before in a different city. It was different, obviously different brand and stuff, but it was good. It was very well put together. Same thing with the brewery, very well put together. Like, you'd go into these little rooms, they'd have exhibits, you'd walk through. Both of them were extremely well put together. I remember in the artist's house as well, they gave you like an iPad, and then you just put it up, and boom, it would show you like facts and stuff, and like gave you a guide to everything. Like, they're really well put together. Same thing with the printing press house, the printer's house, and then also factory kind of lived there as well. It was a really good experience. I definitely would do it. And then going down the canals, learning about that, going down there, it's like a weird but kind of interesting still at the same time. Get down there, muddy, but not too gross. They gave you like boots and a cover. And to give a better background of the City Pass, what it actually offers, what I actually did, and some of the other things that I could have done but didn't do, I'm gonna walk you through the website and what I did and what I didn't do. So here it is. So for the Antwerp City Pass, the 16 museums that are there, the Chocolate Nation, Diva, I both did those on the second day. And then a lot of these were closed, weird hours for me, so I didn't do any of these, or I just ran out of time. But and then this is the Mass. I did that as well on the second day. Very pretty. I don't know why I didn't even get a picture of the actual building, because it's stunning. If you look at that, beautiful. And then Museum Plainton Meritus. That's the printing press museum. They live there, and then that's also that's a picture of the factory type where they had a bunch of printing press. UNESCO, and then it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, if I remember correctly, which I believe is the only printing press, which is pretty interesting. And then the Snyder and Rogaxus. I'm butchering that, but the interesting thing about that is I saw one of their paintings in China. I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy, because they're all, as you can see, kind of animal based or hunting based, and I was like, that is what a funny small world. I was in China. I went to a art museum, thinking I'd see some Chinese art. No, it was a European, because it's a museum, so they have different exhibits. It was a European art, and that was one of them. Thought it was really funny. But anyways, yeah, this is the 4 churches. that's a picture of their main church there. It was under construction. I went, so it was kind of lackluster. This was just like a construction with like an old picture printed over it, as some construction sites see, and that's the main one. Um, and then I went to one of the chapels, but all the other ones were closed, I believe. But still interesting. And then the three attractions that were on. I did both the canal and the brewery one. I I'm not sure if that was there when I was there, or if I just really wasn't interested. The Antwerp story, I actually don't know what it is, but I definitely did not do it. But yeah, these are the two. I mean, that's half of your money right there. If you That's $35 out of the 55. So pretty much, if you're interested in doing either of these, it's but if you're gonna do both of them, it's worth doing. Uh, Anyways, it was quite nice though. Very enjoyable. Trying the beer was really nice because, um, but I like Belgian beer, and it was good. It was good seeing kind of the history of specifically that brewery, but also the brewery of beer in specifically just Belgium because they have a different history about it, and it was quite good. And talking about the different glasses and I believe the big thing there was they gotta drink a cool cold beer. Compared to other people might. Some people are okay with it warm, but not them. Um, but yeah, altogether, I really enjoyed Antwerp. I think it's one of those underrated, kind of like Brussels. Like people don't go there, but I think that's kind of the appeal. On you still get history, things are well put together. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. My next stop, I figured out how to get to Amsterdam. So maybe I'll tell about that.